chat with you a little bit today about the message that you shared on Twitter. Why did you feel like it was important to get that out there on social media?
We chatted as a team in the morning, and I just shared a lot of what was in there, but essentially that I didn't understand. I'm a white person that I'm not going to claim to, and I also said to the guys, I don't want to do anything that would be seen as disingenuous or posturing or any of that. And so I just said, I do know I have a platform, guys, that's different than others. So tell me what I can do. Tell me how I can help if I can. And then I just said, I just wanted it to be an opportunity for guys to share. And so as guys shared, I mean, it was extremely emotional experience, but that was one of the suggestions, was that what little I can do is use the platform to take a stand against any version of racism, and in favor of mutual respect, love, and so that's why.
Do you feel like, even though as a white person, it's still important, since you are a leader in the community, to maybe still be a part of the fight and be seen as an ally?
Absolutely. If you want to be, if you want there to be a solution, you got to become part of it. You can't just sit on the sidelines and expect somebody else to take care of it. And it is something that again, I don't want to claim to understand, but as I digested it, as I listened to men and young men that I love and serve on a daily basis, it became absolutely apparent that I had to do something. I have to stand up for what's right, and hope to affect some tiny version of change in the world, for them, right? For all of us, for the kids I'm raising. And I think that's what we're all doing in some way or another, is trying to make this thing better, right? The whole world better, just by us being here. And if this is the small part I can play, I'm happy to do it.
Now, in that team meeting that you mentioned, what did your athletes of color say? How did they express some of their concerns, and what were their, I guess, recommendations for you to help?
I think it was, there was a lot of sharing, and I think that was, it was incredible, and it was emotional for a lot of us, to just share that pain, that sadness, that exhaustion, and then again, I certainly have the hurt, because I'm empathizing with their hurt, right? And I have the hurt that the society is not right the way it's supposed to be, but I don't have that day-to-day lived experience. And so just hearing so many of them that spoke, of our guys, of our coaches that spoke up to just share with each other. Some of it was just to get it off their chests, right? Some of it was to have it be okay. Our coaches did an unbelievable job of showing the example that it's okay to be this upset. It's okay to not be okay, right? And one of our coaches said, it's okay to ask that question. Are you okay? That it's not dodging it, and it's not, trying to dance around an uncomfortable situation. Just lean into it and let's talk about it. Are you okay? And so, quite honestly, there weren't a ton of suggestions. There a bunch of guys just kept saying, just speak up, just say anything, and it doesn't matter exactly what. And so I think that's, again, you know, I'm not going to probably change careers and become you know, anything else. This is where I feel I can affect the most change in the world. And so what little I can do in this role is what I want to do.
Yeah. How have your athletes, I guess, responded to this? Are you proud of them for maybe handling it in a good way? And what does that say about the team culture and maybe the just accepting kind of environment that you're hoping to create there?
Yeah, I'm incredibly proud. Again, I keep saying it was emotional. I mean, I was incredibly proud of all of the young men on our team, the coaches, of meeting it head on, not dodging it, and certainly in a group full of white guys, black guys, Asians, Hispanics, all of it. There were no words minced. There were, you know, it was true honesty, and that's what, you know, when we talk about wanting to be a family, that's what families do. Families don't soften the blow. They don't, you know, they don't talk a little bit nicer. They tell each other the truth, and there were a lot of truths that just, I don't know that I'd ever heard them that way before. That's the honest, that's my honest truth, right? Some of it is my own ignorance, my own privilege, my own good fortune to have not encountered some of that, right? And so, it was an incredible day. I've had multiple young men, other coaches on other staffs that I know, just lots of people reach out and just say thank you. And I think that's all that that the goal was if it helped anybody, if it made one of our coaches, one of our players, one person lessen the burden a little bit. Maybe I didn't change the world, but if I help them, that's great. And I think it speaks volumes that the young men were willing to be that honest in face of a really, really challenging situation.
Was it your idea to have the meeting, or was it maybe like a collective group decision with a couple of your staff members, or how did that kind of start up?
A little bit of both. I on Thursday morning, we do something called Thankful Thursday, and I kind of go around as we're not even in a formal setting, just as guys are logging on to Zoom, I just go around and ask what they're thankful for, and what really, I hadn't digested it by then at all. That's again admitting a little ignorance, but as I continue to hear the guys and just be thankful to be alive, be thankful for their situation in life as a young black man that you know is a Division I football player and on the verge of living a dream and all that stuff. There was a bunch of those on Thursday morning, and then to hear one of my staff members who's black and raising a black son and talk about some of the challenges that he's going to face. And just thankful to have that time with his son. And I think where it really struck me, and it really, another one of the staff members grabbed me later in the day, and then Friday morning in my kind of quiet time was when it just, I can't comprehend that my children are raised in a different world than my staff member's black child. I don't, it's challenging for me, and that's where I spent all that time trying to unpack it. And so I wanted to share something, but my words aren't enough because I don't get it. So I had to do what leaders do. I think, you know, leadership is service, and you do that by listening, right? By figuring out what the needs are and how you can identify and meet them.
Yeah. Do you feel like the sports community and maybe the locker room culture that sports kind of provides is a positive thing in all of this? And can sports maybe unite people in that sense?
Absolutely. I think that's what I'm most thankful for, and quite frankly, why I dedicated my life to this culture, to this, because it is a place where I do feel like barriers are broken and that you don't deal with that stuff. And I'm not to ignore that it's there, but it's almost, it is a place, there's a safe haven when you go and everyone's dedicated to that cause greater than themselves, it's what it's supposed to look like on the bigger picture, right? That everyone is pushing for the same goal, cause greater than yourself, and your skin color, your background, none of it matters, right? And that's what's right with sports, and certainly I think that that we can see a path forward in society that same way.
Yeah. What's your response to maybe the rest of the sports world kind of taking the same approach as you, maybe, some professional athletes and other coaches just around the world?
Oh, it's incredible. It is. And I think it's highlighting exactly what you just said, Marlee, that everybody understands if you're a part of the sports world, that it does transcend that stuff. And so while, again, we don't know exactly what to say or how to saying anything and highlighting that it can be done. We're working our tails off on a daily basis, doing it on a small level in athletics in all the locker rooms. But I think if we all work together, and that's what you're seeing is on social media is everyone wanting to work together to make it better. It's not going to be perfect overnight, but let's just do a little we can to make it better.